Researchers during an episode of The Curse of Oak Island disclosed the history of an old artifact. The Lagena crew consults with leather expert Joe Landry in order to assess a piece of leather that was found close to the money pit. They learn that the leather was tanned with oak bark and that it was produced in the medieval times. It might have been taken from the boot of a medieval officer. To check for the presence of any type of dye, the team is considering performing some further tests. They emphasize the importance of using science and specialized expertise in order to comprehend the artifact and discover more about the history of this recently discovered ancient treasure. When a piece of leather was discovered next to the money pit, the team led by Rick and Marty Lagena met with Joe Landry, an expert on rare papers and artifacts, to examine it. In addition, Joe points out that the leather was tanned utilizing an ancient technique known as oak bark tanning. The group speculates that it may have been a portion of a boot from a military commander who wore it during the historical period connected to the money pit, and that it may have been discovered in the money pit. If this interpretation is correct, it might indicate a connection between this object and a leather boot sole that was previously found nearby. The committee considers whether additional tests may be performed to determine whether the leather was ever dyed in any way, as this could reveal more information about the object's age. The need of using science and specialized expertise to understand the artifacts and learn the larger tale hidden beneath it is generally emphasized. Joe is thanked for his guidance, and they then talk about the next actions they should do. They talk about the various steps that need to be taken, like looking at potential cultural effects and consulting other experts. They expressed gratitude for the chance to dig into this kind of information, which is unusual to find in Canada or Nova Scotia, and their excitement to share the findings with the team's other members. They are generally optimistic about the prospect of new discoveries that may result from further investigation and highly value Joe's vast knowledge base. Oak Island is surrounded by a network of water-filled anhydrite holes and sits atop a glacial tumulus system. These two factors could be the cause of the pit's ongoing flooding. Multiple floods have submerged Oak Island, which is a pit. The creation of caves and other natural cavities is caused by the fact that this specific variation of limestone is highly prone to dissolving in the presence of water. At depths ranging from 38 to 45 meters, 125 to 148 feet, bedrock can be found close to the pit. People have been searching for and attempting to locate antiques and hidden riches since the 18th century. Shakespearean manuscripts, the Holy Grail, the Ark of the Covenant, and pirate booty are a few examples of the kinds of things that have been theorized to be on the island. The Holy Grail, because you never know what the next grab or scoop could turn up, digging is always exciting. The gold they discovered in the water is one of the theories as to why gold was transported to the money pit. The team discovers a few pieces of wood here and there, but the biggest iron fastener they have found so far stands out. The team concludes that the enormous iron fastener, which is thought to date from the 1800s or possibly earlier due to its poor craftsmanship, predates the discovery of the money pit. The finding of these artifacts gives the money pit more historical significance. One of the relics that the crew has discovered that has captured their attention in particular is a hand-forged spike. They want to examine the spike because it is noteworthy despite its crude appearance, the fact that it was hand-forged from raw iron, and the signs of aging. It might provide information on Oak Island's past, but about 130 feet down in the B4C shaft, the party is forced to turn around after hitting bedrock. It will be difficult to continue excavating and exploring because of this impediment. The excavations in the vicinity of the money pit have been put on hold for the year due to a lack of time. The evidence obtained from the 5 gigantic steel holes that have been sunk over the past few months has increased the team's confidence that the treasure that has been searched after for more than 2 centuries is still hidden beneath Oak Island. The crew is well aware that they will need to deploy cutting-edge equipment if they are to make any real progress in their hunt. This is as a result of the money pit's intricate layout. They feel a great drive to keep digging since there is scientific evidence suggesting that there are significant amounts of gold and silver below the surface. The crew's confidence in their ability to accomplish their objectives grows with each new hole they dig and with new discovery they make. They remain hopeful about finding the long-lost treasure on Oak Island, and they are willing to use any means necessary to get there. An important step forward in their exploratory efforts was made when the team pinpointed their exact location in the tunnel. The discovery of the handcrafted spike has greatly strengthened their earlier understanding of the location. The group intends to employ methods like carbon-14 dating, C14, in order to do further research because they are aware that it is necessary to do so in order to figure out where the surge started and what it means. A conference was planned at the research center to discuss the findings after the iron spike was discovered in the B4C shaft at a depth of more than 100 feet. Key participants included Carmen Legg, Gary Drayton, Craig Tester, and Marty Lagena. Our understanding of the Oak Island mystery has probably increased as a result of Carmen's inquiry, and further details about the origin and importance of the spike might become available. Carmen has revealed that the iron spike found in the B4C shaft is actually a rock drill, a device that was used throughout the Middle Ages. When Carmen connects this at Oak Island, Rick Lagena made a terrifying discovery. Rick Lagena made a horrifying discovery at Oak Island during the final excavation of the year, which strongly suggests that gold had been concealed in the money pit all along. They were focused on the excavation taking place in the B4C shaft in the money pit region and eagerly awaited significant advancements that could bring them closer to the elusive treasure chamber. The B4C shaft, located just 5 feet to the north of Borehole C, is steadily accumulating depth and is projected to reach approximately 90 feet. Recently, the crew discovered intriguing clues in the C1 cluster that indicate the presence of 15th century wooden tunnels. They also discovered significant quantities of silver and gold, which sparked rumors about the former location of the money pit, or the possible existence of a passage leading to a chamber containing valuables. Concerns have been raised as to how 15th century people were able to construct timber tunnels in light of these discoveries. Why was it constructed to begin with? What was the reasoning behind this? These made many individuals inquisitive, and at Oak Island, Rick Lagena made a terrifying discovery. The discovery of a conduit at the 90-foot level is believed to be an important indicator that they are getting closer to the original money pit. The crew eagerly anticipates each new discovery in the hope that it will lead to the finding of previously unknown treasures. The discovery of gold in the water lends credibility to their theory that the money pit was the source of the wealth. As they continue their excavation, they discover numerous fractured pieces of wood, but one object in particular piques their interest. It is a substantial iron fastener. Based on the primitive craftsmanship of the object, experts estimate that it dates back to the 1800s or even earlier. It is intriguing to note that it was written prior to the discovery of the money pit, suggesting that artifacts from a period prior to the money pit's discovery exist. A handcrafted spike is one of their discoveries, and it takes center stage among their other treasures. After recognizing the significance of each report, the team has reached the conclusion that further investigation of the spike is required. It is a valuable artifact that could provide insights into the history of Oak Island due to its weathered appearance, use of hand-forged raw iron, and evidence of aging. At approximately 130 feet down in the B4C shaft, the crew encounters a formidable obstacle in the form of bedrock. This poses them with a substantial challenge. Due to time constraints, additional excavations near the money pit will not be feasible this year due to an unanticipated difficulty. The fact that significant amounts of gold and silver have been discovered buried in the earth serves as a tremendous incentive for the team to continue searching for the elusive treasure. Each pit they excavate and find they make contributes valuable information, which keeps their spirits high and resolve unwavering. Later at the research center, key figures such as Marty Lagena, Craig Tester, Gary Drayton, and blacksmithing expert Carmen Legg gathered to discuss the iron spike discovered at a depth of more than 30 feet in the B4C shaft. Carmen's knowledge, experience, and meticulous analysis of the spike have the potential to provide crucial insights into the object's historical context and significance. A rock drill, an ancient instrument used for penetrating rocks and pulverizing enormous masses, is yet another extraordinary discovery from the money pit. This rock auger, which is believed to be quite old, bears striking resemblances to those employed during the medieval period. Its discovery raises intriguing concerns regarding the money pit's past and the potential wealth it has been concealing all this time. The group is contemplating whether this relic provides additional evidence that they are near to locating the legendary treasure they are seeking. The significance of the rock drill is becoming clearer, which raises the possibility of a connection to the earliest stages of the money pit's creation. The prospect of discovering undiscovered information to specific swages that the researchers detected 2 years earlier. The excitement level increases. It turns out that one application for the swages was to smooth the rock drill's edges. The rock drill, which is used to drill rocks or break up large boulders, is sometimes seen as an important antiquity due to its resemblance to drills employed in the Middle Ages. The money pit's presence on Oak Island gives rise to intriguing rumors about its past and the whereabouts of its hidden treasure. The crew members wonder if this object is another evidence that they are getting close to the fabled riches. The rock drill has historical significance since it might be linked to the original building of the money pit, which, in turn, could provide crucial information regarding the tools and methods employed during that first construction. The team's recent findings, which include the stone-paved section in the marsh and the ancient stone road, have further heightened the enthusiasm around the exploration of Oak Island's hidden areas. As they eliminate suspects, there is an increasing sense of intrigue about what might be hidden in the money hole. The Lagena brothers express gratitude for the team's assistance and reaffirm their conviction that the island has the potential to produce gold. They have combined conventional excavation techniques with a hunt for pertinent information as a result of their unwavering tenacity. The Oak Island enigma has been solved to an unparalleled degree as a result of everyone's diligence and Charles and Billy's leadership. With the best of intentions, a group of young people began digging on Oak Island, but things quickly turned terrifying. The treasure hunters hoped they had discovered a genuinely extraordinary find from the age of piracy when they discovered man-made stones and planks. However, as they continued to descend, their excitement gave way to terror as they came across more and more boards that were covering a dangerous object underneath them. The story does not end there, though, since there are still more discoveries to be made. They tried for a very long period but gave up at a depth of 20 feet. The excavation team found increasingly unsettling objects at regular intervals of 10 feet. As one advanced through the levels, new platforms and weird items were constantly exposed, which contributed to the growing unease. But the true dread struck when they were around 90 feet below the surface. Among the treasures found was a weirdly inscribed stone, but the most terrifying revelation was left until last. What they observed was a tunnel that led directly into a pit loaded with traps. Don't forget to subscribe and enable post notifications to be notified as soon as the new post is published. Everyone pondered the reasons that could have led to the creation of such a deadly trap. The implications of this discovery gave them chills and placed a gloom. Were also treasure hunters. Along with these items, they have found piles of coconut fiber, pieces of wood, and stones that may have been used in the attempt to booby-trap the hole. Stones and wood chips are a few of these items. Similar to the last example, there is evidence that implies earlier treasure seekers made an effort to hinder the flow of water in their pursuit for the hidden treasures. The most intriguing artifacts found in the crypt include several coins, some of which are from the 16th century, several gold links, and a stone with indecipherable inscriptions that has confounded treasure hunters and scholars for more than 2 centuries. There's a chance the crypt holds all of these relics. Many people who search for wealth believe they have found the money pit's big vault, which is a large vault that is more than 100 feet deep. In and around the pit, most of the artifacts that have been discovered so far have more historical value than monetary value. While some items hint at brand new puzzles, certain objects offer tantalizing hints to treasures that have not yet been found. Having fun so far with this video? Did you already sign up? By doing this right away, you will receive more updates on great discoveries and a notification when the next post is available. According to a letter made by treasure hunter Jotham B. Macaulay in the middle of the 19th century, a previous miner allegedly discovered a stone in the pit in the year 1804 at a depth of around 90 feet. Between 12 and 16 inches wide and 2 to 3 feet long, the stone is a rough rectangle. It does not like any local rock, but instead seems to be a dark, olive-hued Swedish granite. The cryptic symbols engraved on the stone have sparked a lot of debate about how they should be understood. The letters of the English alphabet were allegedly intended to be represented by the symbols etched into the stone, according to one view. According to one interpretation of the phrase, it may be translated as 40 feet below 2 million pounds are buried. While other academics believe it was meant to represent France, they also believe the symbols were somehow connected to the Knights Templar. A local myth claims that the wealth won't be found until 7 persons have died looking for it, according to the Oak Island Compendium, an online research collection. There is no recorded documentation, however, that can explain who first put the curse on the treasure in this way, or even if the treasure was ever cursed, similar to the many other myths that are connected with the island. 6 people have died so far while attempting to find the money. It is pretty obvious that the Lagena brothers are prioritizing their own safety while they investigate, despite the fact that this apparent curse is said to hang over them. New discovery is shocking and astounded scientists. For additional information, watch the video after this one.